Dr. Amreshwaran, give them the option of unmuting, and I want to interact with them. Okay,
okay ma'am. Okay, giving ma'am, giving. Dr. Srutaswini ma'am, I am requesting Dr. Srutaswini Gogoi ma'am, coordinator, to welcome the resource person and other participants on today's the 18th day of 21-day international workshop of FDP Faculty Development Program on innovative techniques for professional development of teachers in higher education. Ma'am, over to you, Dr. Srutaswini ma'am.
Yeah. Good afternoon to all of you. So today, 18th day of 21 day international workshop from FDP on innovative techniques for professional development of teachers in higher education. So today, I'm extending my heartfelt welcome to all of you. And yesterday already, our participants, all of you met our Honorable Resource Person Sujata Srivastava ma'am. So today also she will take our first session. So I welcome our Honorable Resource Person ma'am also. So by listening your this very encouraging and very active your presentation, myself also I'm feeling very happy to be a part of this program, and I hope our participants will also they will be benefited by your presentation and the knowledge shared by you. So once again, I welcome you all today to our first session, which will be taken by our Sujata Srivastava ma'am. Welcome ma'am, and welcome all our participants.
Good morning and namaskar, and thank you so much, Dr. Gogoi, for this nice introduction. And I'm so happy to be here once again and sharing this platform with the participants who are present here. So my title of today's discussion and presentation is, of course, oral presentation for professional development. But in oral presentations, what I have chosen to focus upon today is the power of non-verbal communication. And I'll tell you the reason why I've done that. Because I find that, across, people and across presenters and down the years of my professional life, I found that there are participants, there are teachers, there are faculties who are very rich in knowledge. There are researchers, there are scholars who have very good technical know-how. But when it comes to presenting, whether you're teaching, whether you are presenting a paper, any kind of presentation that you do, because this is very wide, I'm taking presentations and I'm putting everything under presentations. So whatever you do, somewhere we have to realize the importance of non-verbal communication. Now, and that is what I'm going to focus upon, whether it's whether it's teaching that you're doing, whether you're presenting a paper, or, you're making a speech or anything, any kind of presentation that you do. Now, here, what I want to focus upon is, because I start this with a question, and listen carefully, all of you, what my statement is, okay? And I want you to respond and tell me whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it, okay? So just unmute and tell me, okay? And my statement is, I start this whole session with a statement, okay? You cannot not communicate, okay? So I start with this statement. No, write it down if you want to. You cannot not communicate, okay? Now, what does this mean? You cannot not communicate. Yes. Now think, unmute and tell me. You can even unmute your videos so that I can see you. Unmute your audios and just tell me. You can even unmute.
Good afternoon, madam. there is you can communicate negative into negative equal to positive like that.
No, but what does it mean? Okay, you can communicate, but this again, see my statement, all the participants. Okay, yes, you're right. You can communicate, but see the focus of my statement and the emphasis that I'm putting on the words. Okay, on the syllables. See that you cannot not communicate. Okay, okay. Who else would like to try? Just try. It's not a test. Nothing, nothing is going to happen. So what do I mean by that? You cannot not communicate. Yes. Anyone?
Ma'am, it's
You are allowed to communicate.
Allowed to communicate. Anything else? Same thing.
ma'am, because you have emphasized on the word cannot and not, you are insisting that we must communicate.
Okay, very good. You, Dr. Dunai, you're coming nearer. You're on the track. Okay. So anyone else who would like to try? You cannot not communicate. That's right, what you say. All of you, what you have said is right. Okay. Anything else? Okay.
You are able
now,
to communicate and you should communicate.
Okay, you are able to communicate. Fine. Okay, that's right. But see, the actual meaning here, what I'm trying to tell you is, and I'm going to take you to the importance
Ma'am,
of.
I'd like to say something.
Yes, Daksha, tell me.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I feel that what you just said just says that even if you don't want to communicate, it's the body language which will speak words, and that itself is communication.
Wonderful, Daksha. Exactly. This is the exact point that I want to make. There is never a moment that you're not communicating. Okay. Whether you like it, you don't like it, consciously, unconsciously, all the time, all of us communicate. Remember that, where your silence communicates, your expressions communicate, your gestures communicate, your posture communicates, your eyes communicate. Everything about you communicates, and so it is not the words that only communicate. Let's understand that. And if that is so during our presentations, we may not realize also how we are many times, contradicting our words via body language, or we are supplementing and expanding our words by our body language. And that is why the power of, now I call it the power of nonverbal communication, becomes so important, whether you're teaching, whether it's a speech, whether you are making a presentation, you're presenting a paper, whatever you do, nonverbal communication is a part of you, and you cannot not communicate. Okay, now I start with my presentation. Before I do that, I want all of you to quickly write down one non-verbal communication that you use in your day-to-day life. Okay, I'll give you 1 minute for this before I start sharing my screen. Yes.
So they are allowed to type in the chat box, or they can write on the paper, ma'am?
No typing in the chat box. I want you to speak out. Okay, now 1 minute is over. Any one non-verbal communication that you use in your day-to-day, life. Okay, who will start? Anyone?
A smile, ma'am.
Okay, smile. Okay, next.
I'm nodding.
Nodding, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, next.
Hand gestures.
Gestures. Okay, next.
Eye contact, ma'am.
Okay, eye contact. Next. Next.
Attitude.
What is it?
Attitude, behavior.
No, but tell me an action. Yes, attitude will lead to an action. So tell me an action that you use. Which act of behavior in non-verbal communication that you're talking? Tell me that.
Madam.
Sad face, madam. Sad face.
Okay, sad expression. Yes.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
hand
eyes
movements, ma'am.
blinking.
Anger.
One by one, huh? Anger, angry expression.
Blinking eyes.
Yes, blinking of eyes. Okay, so now have you noticed one thing? All of you here are talking about body language or body communication or organ communication, okay? But please let me tell you that non-verbal communication is much more than that. And that is what we're going to understand here in this session. So all of you, I think my understanding is, and that is why I asked this question, that all of you are using, body language, you're using body communication. But when I talk about non-verbal communication, please remember it's much more than just body language. And that is what we're going to try and understand, that how these things, how the other types of non-verbal communication communicate. Okay, now with this, I start with my presentation. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen, and as I ask questions, I want you to interact, okay? Can you see?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Make it a presentation mode, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm just doing that. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Visible, ma'am. Thank you.
It's okay. Okay. Now, okay. So starting from, what is nonverbal communication? Okay. When you say what is nonverbal communication, we are talking about all the stimuli which communicate to us, which can give us some meaning, except, except spoken or written words. So nonverbal communication, it refers to all other stimuli than the spoken and written words, okay? And so what we can say in short, where no linguistic element has been used. So we are not using a language here. So that is in very, very simple words, that is nonverbal communication. Now coming to the importance of nonverbal communication. Can you tell me before I tell you, anyone here? Why do you think it's important, and why should we be talking about it for an hour and a half? Yes, anyone?
It is very effective when compared to verbal communication, madam, in a classroom. It is very effective when compared to verbal communication.
Sorry, I didn't get the word. It is very
effective, madam.
Effective. No, why?
Yes, madam. In classroom.
No, in classroom. Why is it effective? Yeah, that is what I'm asking you. Yeah, that's right. What you say, Dr.
It
Gayatri.
overcomes language barrier.
So it adds to the meaning of words. Okay, so basically what you're trying to say here is it's expanding your words. Yes, that is right. So if you see the functions here of non-verbal communication, so you are giving information consciously or unconsciously. I said you cannot not communicate. That is how I started it. Okay, you are expressing your emotions. You may, complement, emphasize, or even contradict the verbal message. Now, supposing I tell you, okay, you come to my house and I tell you, oh, I'm so happy you came to my house. So what are my words saying? I'm happy. But do I sound happy? Does my tone sound happy? That is what I'm asking you. I'm so happy you came to my house. Come, sit down. What will you have? Okay. Now, does my tone sound happy? That is what I'm asking you. Yes or no?
No. No, madam.
No. So I'm contradicting my words, okay? I'm saying that I'm happy, but my tone of voice, which comes under paralanguage, which comes under nonverbal communication, is not at all happy. Okay, it's not at all happy. So that is what we're talking about, about the functions of nonverbal communication. We can influence people by the tone of voice, okay, by the body language. We can point at somebody, we can be aggressive. I can put my hand on my waist, you know, and I can influence people with anger. I can influence people in different ways. And these are the various functions of non-verbal communication. And then see, your attitudes, your intentions are being expressed here. You know, your feelings, your joy, your happiness, your grief, everything is being expressed through your non-verbal communication here. And many researchers have said that non-verbal communication is more reliable. Now, why is that? Why is that? Why research evidences tell us, okay, that why is non-verbal communication, you know, many research findings have said is more reliable. Why? That is my question to you.
It can be understandable by other illiterates, madam, and small children also.
Anything else? Why is it more reliable, I'm saying?
Ma'am,
It's not reliable?
ma'am, could it be because with words, people have known how to manipulate words a lot, but when it comes to body language, it's more instinctual. And so because of that, we've not trained our body language as such to hide our intentions, so it comes out more naturally. So I think maybe that's why it's more it conveys more.
Exactly. So this is exactly what we're trying to say here is, see, words can lie, but your body generally doesn't lie. Okay, now what is actually happening is that body language is very spontaneous and natural. You know, have you seen these reality shows? You know, I like to watch Indian Idol. I like to watch these shows which I see, and suddenly you find that somebody who's come third and somebody who comes first, they suddenly start crying, you know, so naturally and so spontaneously. It's very difficult at times to control your emotions. And let me tell you, and therefore many researchers say that it's more reliable. But then another thing is that many times what happens, if you are in the business of being fraud or you are an actor, you know, then of course you can lie. Even your non-verbal cues can lie. So that is one thing, is that you know, we have to see this, that is why it is said to be more reliable. So unless, you know, I'm in the profession of acting, or I'm a cheat or a fraud, then probably I can lie with my body actions. But otherwise, you know, you and me, normal people, generally masses, we are not able to manipulate our body language. So that is one thing, you know, and that is why it's got a more reliability factor, which is important. Now see, this is an effective communication mix. And this was actually given by Professor Meherbian, who in the 1940s, I think it was 47, 48, he was teaching in the UCLA, that is University College of Los Angeles in the United States of America. And Professor Meherbian, he actually wanted to know what makes effective communication, you know. And so he did his research, and the finding was really interesting. And this is a classical finding, you know, 7% words, okay, 38% tone of voice, and 55% visuals. That is what you see. That is the dress, that is the objects that you wear, that is your gestures, that is your posture, that is your facial expression. So that is 55%. Now just look at that. And but he also said, there's also a rider to this, and Professor Meherbian also said that 7% words, you know, and the words could be of more percentage if you happen to be in the profession where words are important, like in the profession of teaching, in the profession of academics, you know, the content is very important. And you know, for us, that the content is actually also very important for us. But the point I'm trying to make here is, from this effective communication mix is that look at the tone of voice, 38%, and look at the visuals, the body language, the expressions, the posture, the gesture, that is 55%, which is really huge, and that's why all of us are sitting here trying to, of course, communication is something that's not new to you. You all, a body language is something that is not new to you. You're using in everyday life, but I'm just trying to put things in perspective that if we do something, why do we do it and what is the impact? And that is what I'm doing it for you. Okay. Now see, the types of non-verbal communication, So we have, if you go from the top, oculesics, that is eye communication, okay? And in many of the literature, you'll find that eye communication is also a part of kinesics, that is body language or body communication. Then you have para-language, which I'm going to explain, like your tone, your rhythm, your pitch, your tempo, your volume, which is not really a language, but is like a language. And therefore, we say it is para-language. I'm going to talk about it later. Kinesic is body language. That is a technical word, which all of you are so well, you're using it so well, and you're well aware of it. Kinesic, that is body language. Smell is also a part of communication. Haptics is touch communication. Chronomics is time communication. Proxemics is space communication or distance communication. And appearance and artifacts, that is, what you wear, your dress, and what your whatever you carry with you, maybe your laptop, maybe your briefcase, maybe the jewelry women wear, the handbag they use. So whatever you carry, which is on your body, and also which is around you. Let's say you sit in your office, and what's around you? Maybe you have a painting of M.F. Hussain on your office, which is for 10 crores, and so it communicates. Okay, you are in an environment which is very rich. If your office can afford an M.F. Hussain painting for, let's say, 10 crores, that means the office has funds. The office, it could be making profit. So these things can be communicated, and where still no language is being used. So one by one, we are going to take this, and I have a case study for you, and I also have a body language test that I have planned for you. Okay, so kinesics, I don't want to go too much in detail because your posture, your expressions, your movements, which you are already talking about, your facial expressions, the way you stand, and we have emblems. Like you say, emblem is again a type of gesture. Now please look at my fingers. I'm trying to come in the screen. What does this mean? Thumb up. What is this? Yes.
All the best.
All the best. Good job done. All the best. Good job done. Keep it up. What does this mean?
Peace.
Victory.
These are emblems. These are emblems. Okay. What does this mean?
Left.
No, lift. Give me a lift. Okay. This is a signature. This is for a lift. Okay. Give me a lift. I'm standing on the road and I say like this. Yeah. Give me a lift. So these are emblems, what we call, which we learn, which we emulate, and which we learn. And illustrators, I say that let's all of us go up. Okay. Let's go to the room upstairs. So I'm saying the word upstairs, but I'm illustrating by saying, let's all go up. You go out of the room, out of the room. I'm illustrating it. This is a rectangular room. Okay, this is a rectangular room. Okay, so these are called illustrators, So the words that I speak, I illustrate with my gestures. Affect displays. Affective domain, my emotions that come on my face. I laugh, I cry, I feel sad. I raise my eyebrows, I question, I frown. So these are all expressions which come to be naturally and which are not under my control. Okay, and so these are the affect displays and the regulators which regulate the conversation. Let's say in my class, two students are talking and I go and stare with them. They stop talking. I have regulated their conversation, So that is what it means. And posture and facial expressions, this includes that, what we have been talking. And now see, okay, another thing, very important, which I want to reiterate here and emphasize again and again, body language, or I would say non-verbal communication is culture specific, okay? It changes with culture, okay? It is not what you mean here may not mean the same in some other country. So we have to be particularly careful. And today when people go, the world has become global, and when you're crossing national boundaries and you're going to work somewhere, to teach somewhere across the world, across the globe, cross-cultural communication is what we have to really study. So V is for victory in America. Okay, now see this. Okay gesture means things are well in America. In France, it means a person is zero, and in Japan, it means money. Okay, now see how it is changing with the country. Okay, thumbs up means good in North America, 1 in Germany, and 5 in Japan. Waving your hand, we do that in India too. You're greeting, okay, getting attention. In North America, disagreement in parts of Europe. So I'm waving like this, I'm saying hi, I'm greeting you, but it also means disagreement, no, in parts of Europe. Okay, so now you come to oculesics, and that is eye communication. See, eye avoidance or eye contact, both have reasons. Now, eye contact is very important. Okay, why is eye contact important? Tell me, while in a presentation or while teaching, why would you say eye contact is important? Fast, please. All of you are doing eye contact. Yes. Yes, hurry up.
Ma'am, eye contact shows more confidence.
Exactly. इतना टाइम मत लगाइए भाई, हाँ, be fast. Okay, now see, eye contact shows confidence. Eye contact also means that you're important to me. See, I can also teach and I can also present looking at the roof. Okay, I can also present here to you. I can look out of the window. I have a window here. So I can also do it like this, though I'm not able to see you people, but I'm sure you can see me. So I can do that. But it shows, if I do that, it means that you have no value for me. Okay, and you're not important. So therefore, eye contact is also very important. And what is the second reason eye contact is important? Yes. There's another very important reason why we all are using eye contact. Yes. Yes. Tell me. What is the second reason? One is confidence. One is that the receiver of the communication is valuable. Yeah. Okay. Attention. Any other reason why we are using eye contact? Yes. Yes. Anyone?
Observation, madam. Good observation, madam.
So what are you observing? Yes, that's right. Yes, Guru. So what are you observing? What is that you want to observe? That's right. Yes. So what are you observing? Okay, the most important, another very important thing is feedback. You know, a lot of non-verbal feedback is given. You know, I can make out by the expression, are my learners understanding? Is my group, is my audience understanding? Do they have doubts? Their eyes will communicate. Okay, the facial expressions will communicate, the frown will communicate, the smile will communicate. So the eye contact is also a very important reason is, you know, in any communication exchange, you know, whether it's a presentation or whether it's teaching or any kind of exchange that you are having, it's very, very important to understand that you're also getting feedback. Okay, so that is very important, you know. But sometimes, you know, eyes down is, it also has to do with culture, you know, modesty. Now, what is happening in Indian villages, especially in North India? Now, if you go and see North India, where this custom is very, very prevalent, you know, a daughter-in-law who comes will not look up to the father-in-law, okay, or maybe to the brother-in-law who's older. So that is the reason, you know, the eyes are down. So here it is again very cultural. You know? So that is the downward glance has to do with modesty. You know, so that's a part of the Indian culture that we have. So so that could also be one of the reasons. So we have to ensure, you know, what it is. So that is important. Now we go on to the next one, which is proxemics. Now, how do we use space that also communicates? You know, how does man, you know, structures microspace? So there are a lot of people who tell us, there are a lot of architects who would tell you that if they go to a home and see the way, you know, the space has been utilized, tells a lot about the personality of the individual who lives there. And it could be true. So now we have, we have 4 kind of relationships in life. And according to that, 4 kind of zones have been, are there in the area of space communication or distance communication. First of all, we have what is known as the intimate zone, you know, that is 6 inches to 18 inches. Now, 6 to 18 inches is a personal bubble that we have. Okay, it's a very, very personal area that we have, you know. So if I extend my hand, I can feel the other person, I can look at the other person. And so here in this zone, we allow only people whom we are very close to, okay? It could be parents, it could be grandparents, it could be husbands, it could be wives, it could be children, it could be very close friends, you know. So we do not allow people, everybody in this intimate zone, you know. So it communicates. Now, if you see a couple, let's say you go to a park, okay, so you have lots of couples who are sitting very close to each other. So if you want to know what their relationship is, are you going to ask them, hey, how are you related? Will you say that? No. You know, the space that is there and you know, the distance that is there communicates to you. And you understand that they are in a close relationship. Okay, so that is how a space and distance also communicates. Now, then you have what is known as a personal zone, and that is 18 inches to 48 inches. Now, this is also, you're quite close to the person and you can, you know, hold the person's hand. You go to a get together, you go to a dinner party, you go anywhere, you're standing in a group and you know, you can hold the person's hand if you extend your hand. So that is your personal zone. You have friends. Then you have a social zone, you know, where the distance is 4 feet to 12 feet. And here all the other social, you know, people come whom you're not close to. For example, you go to a shop, okay, you go to an office, you go to the income tax department to file your returns, okay, you go to a plumber who comes to your house. You know, you will at least stand a distance of 4 feet. An electrician who comes to your house to repair. So you will at least stand at the distance, and that is known as the social zone. And then, of course, the last, you have the public zone that is over 12 feet, So here, you can't really see the person very clearly. You go to a sabha, you go to a discourse, you go to a spiritual discourse that is happening. You want to listen to Sri Ravi Shankar, or you want to listen to, this one, Sadhguru. You want to listen to any speaker, and then the distance of 12 feet would be there. You will not be able to see that person who is sitting on the stage. Or you want to, that yoga, Ramdev is there. So whoever is there, so that distance will be maintained. So that is one thing we have to keep in mind. So distance. And so in a classroom, in a presentation, when you go, we do not like to stand very close to the audience. You will maintain a distance, because the person, if you go very close, will feel uncomfortable. Okay, you would not go into their intimate zone, which is there. So that has to be kept in mind. And when space and distance is concerned, this is very culture specific also. Okay, in India, okay, we do not stand so close. We do not, especially where the question of gender also again comes in here. If they are women and if they are girls, and if who are in your audience, you will not go and stand so close to them because that is not the way the culture in India permits. Okay, so that also, it's very, very cultural. That is what I'm trying to say here. Okay, and then you have what is known as the para language. So para language is like a language, and it includes, but it is not a language. Like you have paramilitary forces. Okay, you have the Coast Guard, you have the Indo-Tibetan Border Force. Okay, you have the other forces which are there, which are not military forces. They are paramilitary forces, and therefore this is not a language. It is a para language, which means like a language. Okay, so here it means, for example, the sounds that come out when you utter words. Various sounds that are coming out. So tone. So what is a tone here? What would be the tone? Yes. What would be the tone?
Sound, maybe sound.
Ma'am, how enthusiastically you speak.
Yeah, but technically, if you see, tone is defined as the sound that comes out when you utter a word. Okay, I'm uttering certain words, certain sounds are coming out. Okay, so that is tone. So remember, in your presentations, tonal modulation is extremely important. You have to take your voice high, medium, low. And for this, I suggest a 1-minute exercise to all of you who want to improve your modulation. Read a 1-minute text, okay, from a newspaper, from a book, from anywhere. Record it. You have mobiles, record it there and play it back and see what kind of modulation have you done. Okay, so this is an exercise I suggest to all my groups, where I teach communication and especially presentation skills. Then you have inflection. That means emphasizing on certain words. Okay, that becomes important here, that you're exercising on certain, emphasizing on certain words. For example, now I want just one of you to emphasize on the word. Now write the statement. This is the ugliest dog I have ever seen. This is the ugliest dog I've ever seen. Now, I want one of you to inflect on ugliest. You must emphasize on the word ugliest. Anyone? Yes. Anyone? No?
Ma'am. This is the ugliest dog I have ever seen.
Yes, wonderful. Okay, Mamta. So this is the ugliest dog I've ever seen. Okay. So what does this indicate, this inflection on the word ugliest? What does it mean? What does it mean?
मैम
Yes.
इससे खराब ugliest मैंने आज तक नहीं देखा.
Yes. इससे ugly dog तो हमने देखा ही नहीं है. Okay, this is the ugliest dog I've ever seen. Okay, I have never seen a dog more ugly than this. Okay, so see how the meaning is changing. And the next one, if I say, this is the ugliest dog I've ever seen. This is the ugliest dog I've ever seen. This dog, no other dog. This dog. Okay, so again, the meaning changes. This dog is the ugliest dog. Okay, I'm not talking about any other dog. Okay, so this is called inflection, you know, how we emphasize and the meaning becomes clear to clarify the meaning that we want to communicate. And then we have volume. You all know your volume during presentation has to be high so that everybody can hear it. During your teaching, it has to be high so that everybody should be able to hear it. You know, articulation. Articulation is basically clarity in your speech. Aapka speech kitna clear hai? How articulate are you? And the organs of articulation are, you know, those of you who are here from phonetics background, you know, you have your jaws, you have your teeth, you have your upper palate, you have your tongue. These are the organs which make the sound which comes out clear from your mouth. So you have clarity in speech is very important, you know. But the problem is because all of us, we speak a regional language, so the regional language interferes, you know. So, you know, so all of us have if it is somebody from Bihar, let us say, you know, from my state, I belong to Bihar, and then they will say, you know, a station will become is station. Okay. You know, is station, you know, school becomes school, you know, stir is not, it's not articulate. Okay. Now, if somebody is from, you know, Bengal and Odisha, my friends here, there is no ver in their script, in the Odia script. Okay. Water, comes out, you know. So articulation here becomes very, very important, which we have to practice so that there is clarity, because our regional language, our mother tongues interfere. So that is what we have to see. And tempo is how fast you speak, how slow do you speak. Okay, are you rushing your words, or you're so slow that people are going off to sleep? So that has to be also taken in consideration, you know. So pitch is actually the vibration of your vocal cords, you know. If you're angry, the pitch will go up, okay? So, and when your vocal cords are vibrating like this fast, you know, your pitch starts going up. And if there is less of vibration of your vocal cord, you know, the pitch is low. Quality of your voice. You know, it's very interesting to note that voice quality depends upon your larynx, which is known as the voice box. Okay. And men have a thicker voice. Why? Because men have a larger voice box. And women actually have, you know, they have a thinner voice because their voice box is smaller. Another very interesting thing about quality is that no two people have the same quality. As no two people have the same, DNA, and similarly, no two people have the same quality of voice. And rhythm is, you know, taking your voice up and down, and there is a rhythmic quality, there's a flow in which you speak. So that is a rhythm. And this fluency is many times during presentations, when I do this module, you know, I make, the way I do it is I make participants present, and then we do an analysis. And we find that many presenters would do, maybe they're not aware, maybe it's a habit, maybe they are nervous, we don't know. But this comes, it makes your presentation disfluent. It comes in the way of your presentation. So again, here we have to be very, very careful. The next that we have here is your touch communication. And again, touch is not new. The day we were born, our mothers and fathers, they touched us and they communicated, don't worry, we are there for you. We are going to take care of you. We are going to love you. Okay, so we did not understand the language, but babies understand touch. So touch is as old as the human birth, it's nothing new. You go to somebody's funeral, and you don't say many words, you hold that person, you hug that person and say, and what are you trying to communicate? That don't worry, I'm there for you. Don't grieve over whom you've lost. I'm going to support you and I'm going to share your grief. So that is communicating that, okay? You shake hands, that is communicating appreciation. Okay, so all this is nothing but touch communication, which is actually communicating. Again, be careful. This is culture specific. Be careful of the gender, the age, the background, and the culture of the country in which you go. So again, we have to be careful when we are talking about touch communication here. And chronomics is time communication, So now if I think there are around 54, 55 participants here who are in this FDP. Now, if a participant every day comes late, okay, is not punctual, what does it communicate? What will it communicate? If you come late every day? What will it communicate? Yes.
Ma'am,
yes,
non-sincerity.
Yeah, so you're not punctual, you're casual, okay? So you're not much interested probably. And so that communicates that. Now you spend a lot of time with a friend of yours, you spend a lot of time. What does that communicate? You like the company of that person. It communicates that it likes the company, you really like the company of that person. You go to meet your boss and he keeps you waiting outside in the lounge for a long time. You go to meet your dean or your head and so what will that communicate? Yes. What does that communicate? Yes. Anyone? Yes, Deepa. By saying something? Okay. Anyway,
call it intimacy?
No. If you're waiting for a long time, let's say in the waiting room, it communicates that the person is busy or the person has high status, and the person is making you wait, maybe has high position, has high status, or the person is very busy. So it could communicate a number of these things which are there. So that is what we have to keep in mind. And then we have appearance and artifacts. What is that you wear? What are the colors that you wear? What are the accessories that you wear? Now we are all in the, please mute, please mute. Someone's microphone is on. Can you please mute it? Yeah. Someone's microphone is on. Please keep it under muted. Yeah. So for example, in the profession of education, most of us are in the education sector, and most of us are here. Deepa, can you please mute your microphone? Yeah. So we find that here that you will not keep on wearing lots of chains and lots of bracelets and lots of gold and lots of that, like Bappi Lahiri. Have you seen Bappi Lahiri? All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
The composer. Have you seen how he dresses? So we find that, you know, what you wear, the colors that you wear, the grooming that you do, you know, also, from where is this voice coming? Can you please mute? Whose microphone is on?
Deepa S.
Deepa S, please, can you please mute? You're disturbing. Please mute your microphone.
Ma'am, as the co-host, I think you can mute her microphone.
I see, I don't know how to do that. I don't want, again, I'll have to go back from the slides, you know. Can you please put a message in the chat box for her?
ശോഭന മോഹൻലാലിന്റെ മുഖത്തേക്ക് നോക്കുക. ലാസ്റ്റ്
Deepa ma'am, you are disturbing class, ma'am. Please.
Please put a message for
അത്
her.
അടിപ്പടമാണ് അച്ഛാ. KTV. ആര് അച്ഛാ ആര്?
Deepa madam.
Put a message for her. Now, please put a message for her.
മഴയൊന്നും പെയ്യില്ല.
So professional. Now, please let me continue. So professional, you know, attire.
തമിഴ് മലയാളത്താക്കിയിരിക്കുകയാണ്. തമിഴേ.
Hello, Deepa madam. Hello. A class disturbed, ma'am.
So all these appearance and artifacts, you know, your dress, the colors that you wear, the jewelry that you wear, you know, the makeup people wear, so that all communicates, you know, that is very important to create a professional image. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the image gone? I don't know where the image is gone.
കാലിലേക്ക് ഒതുക്കടിക്കുന്ന.
Ma'am, as a host, you can unmute everyone.
അത് അച്ഛാ അത് വിജയന്റെ മലയാളത്തിൽ ഇട്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. നന്നായി. അത് KTV പറഞ്ഞല്ലേ?
Ma'am, you are host.
എന്താ KTV വെക്കാത്ത? തൂക്കടപ്പടമൊന്നുമല്ല, വലിയ അടിപ്പടമാണ്. ആരാന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാ വെക്കും.
I'm not getting this screen actually.
Can the moderator please mute the Deepa S?
You are heading this command.
No, but my screen has gone off.
Main actor Lal villain.
Ma'am, I think you should just stop share screen and then just restart it again.
Stop.
Sound
Okay. Wait. Stop sharing. Okay. अब आ गया.
Ma'am, you can mute Deepa S in the meantime while
क्या करना है उसके लिए? From where do I have to go? I have to go to Deepa S.
Yeah, and I think you click on those 3 buttons that are there and then you mute.
हो गया mute हो गया उसका. हाँ हो गया. चलो. Okay. So and the smell is the last one which I wanted to talk about. That is, you know, that also communicates. Now let's go, you go to an area where there's a stink coming and, you say, okay, there is no hygiene here, there's no cleanliness here. And so this area is unclean, it's dirty. So it communicates, so smell also communicates. And so these are the different areas of non-verbal communication. It's just a basic, what the discussion that I've done. I have a case study which I want to share with you, and you will tell me the reason. I'm just sharing that case study. 1 minute. Okay. Okay, the document is actually a scanned document. Now, can you see it, all of you?
Yes.
Now, the air crash, read it. And tell me the reason why the plane crashed. Okay, have you read?
Ma'am, the plane crashed because there was no more fuel.
But they were told to hang on because of the heavy traffic. That is an obvious reason the fuel stopped. But this plane, there was a communication problem, and this could have been avoided. Yes.
Ma'am, good afternoon.
When they acknowledged the thing that they were running low on fuel, they could have just made an emergency landing for them and asked the others to hang, like they were told before, when they had enough fuel to stay in the air.
Just repeat, Aarti. Sorry, I lost you. Yeah, loudly.
Yeah, ma'am, like when they were acknowledged, when the news was acknowledged that they were running low on fuel, so they could have done that. They could have hanged on the other traffic instead of just keep telling them to roam around in the air, because it was an emergency situation. Because without fuel, of course, it will just crash on after when the fuel.
Oh, but initially they had fuel.
Yeah, but
okay, and extra also. But when they said they were low on fuel and still they were not cleared. So what is the communication problem here?
So
ma'am, good afternoon.
The due importance to that.
1 minute. Let's listen to Aarti first. Yeah. Yes, Aarti.
They might not have given the due importance to that crucial information that they were running low on fuel.
Okay. So why they did not give importance? Okay, before that, yes, Daksha.
Ma'am, good afternoon. Ma'am, I feel that the chronomics wasn't right. There was a lot of waiting time.
What else do you think? This is a real life incident which happened in the John F. Kennedy Airport in the United States, which is a very busy airport. And this air crash could have been avoided. And there is a gross problem of communication that we see here. And you said, okay, there was a lot of waiting time. But why was there a lot of waiting time? And why was it not clear? That is exactly what I'm asking you.
Ma'am, I think in the failure of communication, they could not emphasize the gravity of the situation, and therein there's the problem with the communication. So they did not prioritize that particular aircraft because the communication was not clear enough of the gravity of the situation.
Okay, so what do you mean the gravity of the situation you're saying? So how could this plane crash would have been avoided? What could have been done? So what should have the pilot said? They said we are running low on fuel. That is what they said to the ATC. Okay, so so how do you think, and this is a real life incident, and how do you think it could have been avoided in communication terms? Yes, Dr. Dunai.
I think if I was the pilot, I would have said, please let us land. We are going to crash in another few minutes or something like
Wonderful. Yes, yes. This is one reason the words many times don't impact the seriousness of the situation, and it's not realized. So rather than saying that we are running low on fuel, had the pilot said this is an emergency, okay, as he very rightly said, we have no time to spare, we are going to crash any time. So the seriousness would have impacted that. Number one. Number two, why else do you think that, what could have been done? What else do you think in terms of what we have just now discussed? One is words, of course, as you say, in terms of what we have discussed. Yes. Yes. Anything else? Absolutely right, what Dr. Dunai just now said. But anything else?
Ma'am, I think maybe of course, this doesn't involve communication, but perhaps the pilot could have taken drastic measures. Like, for example, I think there was that very famous incident of the pilot who, I think, who landed on the Hudson. I mean, on the Hudson River, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot that incident, but that's what he did. He took matters into his own hands. So perhaps the pilot could possibly have done something like that. I'm not quite sure, but it's just
Okay,
one of the
okay,
things.
fine. That's right. That one thing could have happened. But the point I'm also making here is trying to emphasize how tone of voice is important. Okay. Now, and probably if this would have said in an urgent tone, with a lot of urgency in the tone, the communication would have had more clarity. And if you say something in a cool tone, then the urgency does not get communicated. This is the point that I'm making here. So this case study shows, many times communication failures, in para language also, I said tone is a para language. It is the sounds that they're coming out could also they make situations to happen, serious situations like this to happen, which could have been avoided. So your tone of voice is important, definitely, and words are definitely important. Many times in life, I've seen that you just because everything is right, the time is right, everything is right, but the words that you say do not communicate your feelings, and so you don't get the result that you wanted. It happens many times. So the seriousness of your feelings do not get communicated in the words that you utter, and so the response is not that what you would have hoped for. So that is very, very important here. And now I think just a 5 minutes emotions test for you, and all of you score yourself. Okay, and I'm going to tell you the answers, and write down your answers on a piece of paper. I'm showing you some emotions. I'm showing you some pictures in body language. It's an emotions test. Write down. Okay, I'm going to ask you later. Okay. So what is the answer for the first one? Yes. What have you written for the first one? Anyone?
Madam, the screen is not visible now.
Huh?
Screen
No,
is not
I
visible.
stopped sharing.
No. Ma'am will orally see, because this is oral presentation. Ma'am present orally only. You note down, sir.
Okay, okay.
No. I showed the screen to you. This thing, the pictures. Did you see the pictures?
No, ma'am. It is not shared, ma'am. Presentation is not shared. Please.
No. The pictures you were not able to see.
No, ma'am. Please share again, ma'am. Screen share again.
Oh my God, acha. You were not able to see. Okay.
Now it is coming, ma'am.
No, not this. No, wait. This is not the one I want. Okay, anyway, I think I don't know, that's gone somewhere. I don't understand. It's gone. Wait. Actually, it's okay. I'm not able to show that picture. It's okay. Some other time, it's not coming here, so I'm not able to show.
If possible, you can send me mail. I can share, ma'am. If you need.
No, it's okay because we are running also this thing.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Please.
Yeah, next time I'll be able to show. There were just some pictures which I thought that you can just tell me. I don't know. I'm not able to share. Wait. Okay, it's here.
So in general, we are using the personality development, those pictures, ma'am.
No. These. Wait. Can you see?
Visible, ma'am. Visible, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. See, some of these pictures, like, the first one, you shrug your shoulders. Okay. Everything is okay. Thumbs up, hands in the waist. You are folding your arms, which means you're cold. Okay. So palms open position, which means you're open person. See, shake hands. If your palm is on top, you're taking control. If your palms is, facing upwards, you're giving control. Okay. So these are different kinds of shake hands that we have here. See, this is a face-to-face session. I mean, it's not a face-to-face session. Otherwise, I would have called you. Now, these are the different gazes that you have. The business gaze, when you look in the middle of the eyebrows. Okay. And the intimate gaze is when you're looking till the face onwards. The social gaze is when you look below, above your neck onwards, The intimate gaze is below the face onwards if you look. So these are the different kind of gazes that we have. Now, closed arms and open arms is very important. You know, when you close your arms and cross your legs, it means that you're closed to ideas. You're not open to ideas. You know, and when your legs are uncrossed and your arms are uncrossed, you're open to ideas. Now, there's a very good book which is there, which I suggest that all of you read, and that is Alan Pease, Body Language, ALLANPEASE. Okay, so Alan Pease's book is really nice, and it gives a lot of these pictures which are there, which you can improve upon your own body language. And with these words, I would just say that if your tone, your volume, your modulation, and your body language is compatible with the words that you say, half the battle is won. And many times people have prepared wonderful presentations, have done wonderful research work, but people lose interest to listen because the way of presentation is, it's monotonous and it's not interesting. So whether we like it or not, yes, content is very important, and definitely it's very important, but body language also has a huge role to play in the effectiveness of any presentation that you make. So that is what we have been trying to discuss in the time that was given to me. So any kind of oral presentations that you're doing, body language has a big role to play. And with these words, and I would say all of you who feel that you need to improve your modulation, do that 1-minute exercise. It's really going to help you. Take your voice up and down, read a script and a text for 1 minute, play it back and practice it, you will see the change that it comes in your communication skills. And remember, all of us are in the profession of teaching or researching and presenting. And so we really cannot do without communication skills, and communication skills cannot do without body language. I mean, non-verbal, not body language, without non-verbal communication, to be more precise. And with these words, I thank Dr. Amreshwaran to give me this opportunity, to interact with all of you during this FDP. So thank you so much. And I see, he's been so actively organizing. I've never seen anyone so actively organizing a number of webinars, for the benefit of scholars, for benefit of faculties, for benefit of students, for the benefit of researchers. And thank you, Dr. Amreshwaran, for what you're doing. I think you're making a big impact on the society around, in the country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This is a time to recall just to Facebook, yes. The live is okay. This is time to recall my communication with ma'am. And ma'am, few days back, just I will take 2 minutes only. Few days back, I read one article regarding this pilot and accidents. In general, 90% of the accidents because of lack of communication between the pilot and the command officer, or signal or communication. Because the way, and another thing, recently one research done, 70% of the pilots in the Pakistan are not eligible to work as a pilot because of recently one accident in Pakistan, Karachi.
That's
before landing itself. So all this communication plays a major role. You are 100% right here. Not only non-verbal, even verbal communication also. Recently, in one read I saw an article, UK-based article. Whenever you are writing an email, only you can communicate 10% of the communication, 90% non-verbal communication and gesture. That is why it is very, very important. I'm requesting always our participants also, whenever you are going to communicate, please on your video and share your, because face is the mirror of inner feelings. So, and another thing in our Telugu, there is one saying, ma'am, maunam arthangikaram. Silence itself is a type of message. No need to say anything, keep silent. Best thing, kids, whenever they are angry, they simply keep they show their aggressiveness are very important. So non-verbal. And another thing, ma'am, before concluding, there are two courses in future learn how to write an application, how to attend an interview. I completed this course, so maximum information you shared mentioned there, and it is very useful. And that is why without. And another thing, according to Concordia, University of Concordia, Canada, communication is the one of the first and most capabilities among 12 capabilities. There are 12 capabilities identified. Communication is the first capabilities. So this is very nice, ma'am. Even thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, and see you again, ma'am. See you.
Okay,
again.
thank you. Dr. Amreshwaran, this cross is down. I don't have to cross on that. The red cross is there.
Wondering, ma'am, first I will what I can do. I can move myself co-host. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You are allowed to speak and leave, ma'am. Thank you so much. Oh. Yes, we can talk about those persons. We have another it is so 1 minute. Okay. Just for technical difficulties. Our resource person joined. Just 1 minute. I make maybe calling. Sir, good afternoon, sir. Professor Jayachandra Reddy, sir. Sir, am I audible, sir? You are co-host, sir. You can. Sir, you are not audible, sir. Sir, sir, you, yes, sir. Sir, namaskar, sir. Sir, am I audible, sir?
Ramadesh, sir, I'm not hearing to you.
Sir. Sir. Just
I'm
1 minute,
not
sir.
hearing
I'm
to you.
changing my. Sir,
Hello.
I'm changing my network, sir. Only 1 minute, sir. 1 minute, sir.
Hello. Are you hearing to me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm listening, sir. I'm listening, sir. Sir, good afternoon, sir. Am I audible, sir? Sir, Jayachandra Reddy, sir. Am I audible, sir? Actually, because of network issue, it is happening. Sir, I'm requesting you to start your presentation, sir. I'm typing here. Mamata ji, am I audible? Mamata Bhatnagar ji, you are a co-host.
Yes,
You
sir.
can
You are
respond.
audible. Yes, sir, you
Okay,
are
maybe
audible, sir.
network issue.
But, sir, make me co-host from another device, sir. Sir, the icon is showing that I am from mobile with this ID.
What?
Sir, you can recognize from the list, a participant list, that I am added with mobile from this device, which you have make me co-host.
Okay. I did.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Okay, meanwhile, what I can do, I am going to show you the how to write an application. I think write an application. Sir, Namaskar, Professor Jayachandra Reddy, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, now it is okay. Fine.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank
So
you,
it gives
Dr.
me immense
Amaresh.
pleasure. Sir, it gives me immense
Yes.
pleasure to invite Professor Jayachandra Reddy, sir, HOD.
But the voice is not clear, Dr. Amaresh.
Program Southeast. I connect the internet just gone, sir. I wait for a few minutes.
Yeah, what?
Just I will ask you to present. You
Yeah.
can continue. Yes, sir.
Yes, no
So,
problem. I'll wait for you. But your voice is not clear.
So,
Dr. Amareshwaran,
professor in the year. So, sir, recruited as an associate professor in the year. Please. So then I'm also sir, please, I'm requesting, sir, about sir, requesting Professor Jayachandra Reddy, sir, and say about sir. Yeah, sir,
Thank
1 minute, sir.
you, Dr.
Wi-Fi
Amaresh,
is to use. Available now.
your voice
Available now.
is, your voice is not clear, but anyhow, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear? My voice is clear?
So
Yes,
your
sir.
voice is very clear.
Okay,
Now is it okay,
fine.
sir?
That is
Now
fine.
Wi-Fi connected, sir. Now Wi-Fi connected,
Yeah,
sir.
now, yes, now your voice is also clear.
Thank you, sir. Now Wi-Fi connected. Good afternoon to Professor Jayachandra Reddy, sir, and participants again. I joined as a student teacher, Sri Venkateswara University 2004, MEd. Sir entered into Sri Venkateswara University as an associate professor in the year 2007. That day onwards, sir and I was many teachers, Professor Present Vice Chancellor, Professor Raja Reddy, sir, Yagama Reddy, sir, Ravindranath, sir, Prayag, sir, Vijay Kumar, sir, all Padmini Madam, Padmaja Madam, everyone, they encouraged me, and I published one article in the year 2010 with the help of all the teachers in the area studies in the old Affairs Journal. Now it is available in the Joster, Education in India and Asia Pacific, sir. So that is the best journal in my career as a student teacher and a research scholar. I learned many things. Even I suggested to sir, under area studies, education is playing a major role. Please include education also, because in general area studies they are doing economic related, political science and geography and other things. But nowadays digital capabilities and education are very important. I requested sir specially, please sir, our participants are from teachers, student, research scholars. Sir visited many countries and published many books, always busy. Even 2 months back also, sir organized an international conference from our NEHU, Dr. Political science teacher. I think, okay, I can recall. So sir also joined, and this is a time to utilize the sir best services for the benefit of the participants. You can interact freely. What are sources are available to do global level research, and what type of fellowships are there? Fulbright fellowship, Commonwealth fellowship, DAD and other fellowships. So sir, over to you. Warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Amareswaran. I congratulate Amareswaran and his team for organizing such a huge academic affair. But 21 days, it is not a small thing. I have my own experience, what I did a couple of years back, the same program for the faculty. So, keeping in view, the first instance, good afternoon to all the participants and organizers. And sincere thanks to the organizers, particularly Dr. Amareswaran, for inviting me to have an interaction. I don't consider it as a lecture. I always feel like we are all colleagues. There are no students. Am I right, Dr. Amareswaran?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are 100% right, sir.
Yes, all are faculty members and we are colleagues that may be having some difference of experience or the qualification and other things. Otherwise, we are all colleagues. So, with this background, don't give any bombarding lecture, and the topic also may not support me to give a lecture, but it is an opportunity for participants to have more and more interaction to get clarification, particularly of their own doubts. It is not a specific domain where we can provide the entire information through a lecture form. So it is better. I suggest all the participants. Of course, I will give. I'll have some before interaction. I can provide some important inputs about research at different levels and opportunities. Of course, some challenges for particularly faculty, those who have completed their PhD programs, and not only for faculty, even there are some faculty members may not be having PhD. For them, it is a great opportunity where they can go for their PhD programs or postdoc. There are many opportunities at the national level, international level. But going there, and Dr. Amareswan gave me a topic which is very challenging, but it is not a difficult topic, but it is global research opportunities, innovative ways. Just I want to make it clear or clarifying before this. Of course, research itself an innovation. And again, of course, there are no any innovative, there are many approaches of innovative in its kind in conducting research, but in approaching research, but the ways are established procedures, different organizations at different levels. Here we should have personally innovative approach in tapping different sources of research. Here, innovation of research is different, tapping different resources of research. This is the clear difference between innovation of research, innovation to research. So, therefore, I consider it a serious matter to have an interaction with the huge number. I think there are more than nearly 90 participants are there. Oh, it is 111. It is a huge number. So I'm very glad to join this afternoon to have some discussion and interaction. So let me come to this topic. Let me know before comments my discussion or the background of faculty may be all disciplines. Dr. Amareswaran, anyone can respond?
Yes, sir.
All are from social
humanities,
sciences or
no,
social
sir.
sciences?
All it's a mixed group, sir.
Yeah,
Heterogeneous group.
it is general.
Yes,
It is a general pool of faculty from different universities or colleges.
Yes, sir.
Right,
Yes,
that's
sir.
fine. Because I should know the background before commencing my
Science, engineering, even management also there, sir.
yeah,
Science,
no, it makes no difference. It doesn't matter. That's why it is better to have, because from discipline to discipline it differs, and again from domain to domain again it will be different. Opportunities are different, approaches are different, and funding volume of funds are also different. So under these circumstances, it will be more appropriate to have more discussion than a lecture program. But anyhow, let me start with the introduction. Yes, the global research. Basically, research is only one. What we are practicing as faculty members, and it is a continuous process at different levels of our career, at different times of at a particular institution. We are conducting research, and again, research, different trends are there. And before going into the details, we should know that it is a known fact to everyone. Of course, being as a matter of fact, in the beginning, just I want to introduce you or reminding you, yes, there are different trends in the research. When we were students, let us go back for 50 years at least. After independence, India you may not be aware of the research opportunities immediately after independent India. And many of, say, retired people or senior most faculty members of different institutions, they used to go for abroad for their studies itself, not for research, for their studies itself. And we were not having facilities to many of disciplines like advanced disciplines to complete a master's degree in India itself. For PhD, and many of senior faculty members, they used to go abroad for their PhD program. And how we are now inviting the Indian government, now it has been allotting number of fellowships for different countries and giving an opportunity for the students of respective countries to come to India and study their different degrees. It may be master's degree or PhD program or BTech or something, different courses. Similarly, many of our senior faculty members or our teachers, let us say, our grand senior teachers, they used to go similarly to different countries 50 years back. Fortunately, we are so fortunate. Now, we need not go to any other country unless otherwise one is very much fascinated to go and study somewhere. And every citizen of India can complete their degrees of any kind within the country itself. That is the major change over a period of 70 years. Then coming to slowly technological transformation. Earlier, we used to spend lots of time for conducting research, making a thesis. And earlier, the research scholar used to work years together, at least a couple of years they used to spend for preparing the thesis itself, making graphs, maps, typing, and everything was challenging. Now, relatively, now you go back a couple of decades. Now we are ahead of many challenges. We come over many challenges. Here, particularly, I would like to mention any research. The quality of research or quantity of research depends upon the volume of source material that is available or at the disposal of the researcher. He may be a student or a faculty. If I have the access to high quality of inputs to my research, here inputs, it may be articles or publications, different works at international level or at different national level for all disciplines. If you don't have access to highly competitive research work, your research will not be considered as a top class research and with high quality of inputs. That's why now we are so fortunate we are having access through online. Of course, it is a different domain and how different sources of information, how we are accessing a pool of information through online. So to that extent, why I'm starting here, the quality of research is much more to withstand in the global competition. It is not simply that there is some Fulbright fellowship, just you fill in application and send it, you will get the fellowship. Never. Yes, if you want to withstand in the competition, if you want to win the competition, then certainly you should prepare from the beginning itself. Having a habit of conducting research continuously, one should become a professional. Just for the sake of CAS, just for the sake of some promotion or from academic obligation, calculating and doing research. No, they cannot withstand in the international competition. one should convert himself as a research professional continuously, irrespective of the requirement, whether it is required, is there any conference or not. Sometimes now, unfortunately, we don't have much avenues for interacting through offline conferences. It is only through online. And unfortunately, many people are conducting webinars within a gap of 2-3 days, notifying it, and tomorrow there will be a conference. And everybody is talking about 10 to 5 minutes and closing, the conference is over. Here, we are missing an opportunity to submit full papers and full-length discussions. After the conference, revising the papers and publishing the papers, the outcome is nothing. So this is, sometimes it is a global problem. It is not a problem for you or me. It is a global pandemic. Still, we can do research ourselves. We need not do research for the sake of conferences. We can write papers ourselves. It can be published anywhere. There are good number of articles. Now, in that context also, this generation is so laborious and so fortunate and so happy to have more and more number of publications. At the same time, there are some dubious publications. Some duplicate publications are also coming up, and we should be careful. So why I'm telling all this? Unless we practice good attitude of research, conducting research, and we may not be fit into the international domain. Here, I want to classify international research. The domain, the research domain is the same. Based on the quality of research, international domain, national domain, regional domain, local domain. Some of the papers what we publish that may not be acceptable at state level or national level. So we are publishing somewhere. It may not be known to anyone, but that will be useful for our promotion or something. Such research we started practicing, and we cannot think about the international opportunities or domain, international domain. So those who are having good practices of research, maintaining good standards of research, for them, there are innumerable opportunities at the international level. So what we do? Yes, let us hope that we are all good friends and we are honestly doing research, and how best we can explore the possible research opportunities at a global level. Yes, there are different kinds of opportunities. One is government to government. As I said earlier, there are many opportunities between two governments through MOUs or cultural programs, and like many other opportunities are there. I cannot list out. Again, it differs from discipline to discipline. So this government and institutional. Of course, some of the universities, they are having MOUs with other universities abroad. Exchange program of faculty and publications and information, everything. Sometimes fellowships. We invite some faculty members from other university abroad, from abroad, and they invite us for some time. It is mutual understanding. And again, there are individual opportunities. And here, this is possible not only international level, domestic level also. Yeah, let me tell you very clearly, unless It is cricket is nowadays is fascinating game for all. Unless we are shining at different levels, under 15, under 16, under 17, under 19, state level, Ranji level, national level, they will not be selected to the international team. I think this example may be very clear for you to understand the importance of the standards of research, what we need to practice. So, like if you want to join in the international team, you should prove your mettle that you are highly competent, suitable candidate, a suitable player to be in the final 11 of the cricket team. Similarly, in research also, at different levels, there are different opportunities. Unless you prove it, you cannot withstand at international competition. That is sure. Then every individual, why I am telling individuals means it is open to all. The introduction part, Dr. Amresh was telling that there are a good number of fellowships known to everyone. Commonwealth Fellowship, Fulbright Fellowship, and so on. So, if you want to be competent, if you want to apply for that, they are asking many stages of your progress. What is they are asking the best works of 5 works, very recent 5 research works, or 5 publications, books or journals, whatever it may be. That will be evaluated. If we are unable to publish the best research work in the best publications, highly reputed publications, that may be private publishers, maybe some journals, and they don't consider us for the fellowship. And again, every fellowship will have specific objective. Again, one fellowship to other fellowship, the objectives are totally different. Fulbright Fellowship, there are specific objectives for that particular fellowship. Commonwealth Fellowship, again, it is totally different. Of course, there are some specific fellowships for research, Australia-India Council Fellowship. Between countries, there are many fellowships specifically defined or established to promote research or to promote better understanding between 2 countries in terms of economy, in terms of culture, in terms of other. It all depends upon the interest of a particular fellowship, why the fellowship has been established or introduced or offered. So under these different conditions, then how to prepare for applying or how to get a fellowship which is highly reputed. If someone says that I am a Fulbright fellow, one says with collar on hand, yes, I am a Fulbright fellow. He need not tell his other background. If he says that I am a Fulbright fellow, there ends the business. We need not ask him about other details of his research credentials. So that's why how we have to prepare. Conducting good research, publishing in reputed publishers, maybe go in books or journals, and particularly personal, we have to maintain. Always go on searching. Not only for literature, but also what are the institutions that are working. You, first of all, one should define himself. What is the area of specialization? One should not go here and there. One should not do research for some on everything. That is not possible. If I want to do research, I have to define myself where I can fit in. What is my specialization? The scope of my research should be defined myself. Within that, I should evolve as a noted scholar in the at national or international level. Unless otherwise, you are not identified as a scholar of so and so subject or so and so theme, and you will not be identified. You should notify yourself. This is my area of research. Then others will try to recognize your works, what you published. Then opportunities will come in the form of invitations. It is only sometimes confidence. Let me tell you frankly, why Dr. Amareswaran gave me an opportunity to join today's as a resource person for this program. I don't know. I strongly believe that he has some confidence on me. Why he has confidence? My track record. Similarly, he might have invited a good number of resource persons. The same thing. He has identified resource persons based on their specialization. One is a mathematician, noted mathematician. The other one is a noted geopolitician. The other one is a noted geographer. And anthropology starts in different subjects. Some research methodologies. Why he has listed out? What is the criteria to invite? So and so is fit into this particular topic, who can handle this topic properly. The objective of the program will be certainly fruitful, fit into this. That's why the organizers, they make a list of scholars who can deal the subject differently, different scholars at corresponding topics. So that is the way. Why we are missing the list in the Dr. Amareswaran's resource persons? We are not fitting into his list. Means there is no specific recognition for us, for our work. So under these circumstances, what will happen? This is nothing but selling ourselves. It is nothing but marketing. Not only doing research day and night, publishing with the right publisher. That's also most important. For example, I do very good research work, but I don't know how to publish it, where it is to be published. Innocently, I'll give it some local publishers, they publish it, nobody knows about it. I'm the loser. So doing hard work, working hard, producing very good research, piece of research, and failing in publishing appropriately, tapping appropriate publishers. So the recognition will not come to you. That is the literally loss. So working research is not the thing, and one should be very smart in publishing his research at the appropriate platform with the appropriate publishers who has having lots of reputation at different levels. So here, then let us come to where should we start? Yes, research is a regular activity of our career. Every faculty member has been busily engaged with the research day to day. Then once, if we want to have different domains of research, publications, networking, lobbying, everything is required. So let us start with searching. We are always searching for the research material. And very few of us searching for the suitable publishers. When you start writing your article or book, you should also start searching for a suitable, reputed publisher for your work. That's why go on searching. And sometimes some research is required, research funding. And many of our colleagues, they are very much interested, but they don't have financial resources. For your information, most of you may be having better idea than me. But for other friends, I want to share from some of the preliminary things. Not only conducting research, publishing with the reputed publishers, and at the same time, where are the funding agencies? You can also tap the funding agencies for major research projects, minor research projects, postdoctoral fellow. There are many variety of fellowships offered by different funding agencies, national level, international level. We cannot count it. Being a social scientist, I may be having very limited number of information with me. But as I said, Dr. Amaraswaran, it is a combination of all the subjects. The participants come from different disciplines. Therefore, I cannot list out. But in your own domain, in your own discipline, everyone is having plenty of opportunities to get funding for your research. Unless you get funding, you cannot produce quality of research. If you want to do high quality research, and we need liberal freedom in expenditure to meet the expenditure of research. Sometimes we need human resources that may be in the form of research assistant or research associate. So what we need to do, searching, access sources and approach them. Approaching the institution and know how. You should know why it has been established, how we can win the competition, what are the guidelines, what are the specific objectives of the fellowship or funding or conference grant or publication grant, whatever it may be. We have to know all these details. Nowadays, accessing is not a problem. We can roam the entire world sitting in a room from your office. So, approaching different organizations is not at all a problem nowadays. Then preparing to meet the expectations. And before that preparation, we should evolve ourselves. We are searching, accessing, and approaching the organization, and we are knowing the background of the funding, and there we have to evolve ourselves, our research work, our abilities, our background will be fit in or not. Otherwise, the waste of time. If you are not properly evaluating yourself, blindly applying to some fellowships, if 2-3 fellowships, you will be killing your time for 1 year. It is unnecessary. So here at this stage, after knowing everything about the grants and institutional obligations are their objectives, unless we evaluate ourselves whether we fit into this or not, whether we will be successful or not. After taking a decision, yes, I am the right person to apply, then apply for this. After the application, after doing everything, the entire exercise thoroughly, definitely you will be the winner. So this is very simple for any domain. I need not list out what are the funding agencies. Whatever the funding agency at national level or international level, this is the only procedure what we need to follow. Go on searching number of opportunities, number of institutions, and the other thing is approaching the successors, those who have successfully completed the research, the fellowship. So we need to consult the successors of such fellowship holders or funding agencies. We should take the guidance from them. There's also another important thing. After doing all this, then only we need to apply. If someone says that I am applying for Fulbright fellowship, yes, I am also applying. I can also apply. Sitting for 1 month or 2 months, it is not a small exercise. Applying to the Fulbright fellowship, it takes minimum 3 months full time. So if you don't evaluate yourself, then you will be losing the valuable time of 3 months. Unnecessary efforts. So this is most important in tapping the international resources, and success rate, that is also most important. How we are applying, how many applications you made, that is not the criteria. How many of your applications were successful? Yes, and competence. As I said earlier from the beginning itself, and one should be good enough to prove himself at the international. Otherwise, it is not possible to be successful researcher at global level. For competence, what I said earlier from the beginning, we have to follow all these norms. Not only doing research, select the right topics, do quality of research, publish in the right platforms, and prove yourself that you are one of the competitors in that particular domain. Then, yes, of course, let me give you some of the case studies. Of course, being a social scientist, I cannot tell something which belong to management or engineering or pure sciences. Here I have my own limitations, but Fulbright fellowship is not specifically meant to only social scientists. It is universal. Anyone can apply for it. Any engineer, any doctor, anything. But if you want to apply for Fulbright fellowship, it is the topmost high competitive fellowship. The success rate is very, very less. Only 5% of people are successful. That means if there are 100 applications, only 5 applications will be successful. So under these circumstances, now you can imagine here particularly the Fulbright fellowship is having a set of objectives. Exchange of mutual, the society or language or practices, particularly not advanced research, people to people contacts, So they have their set of objectives, and which one should clearly study about the objectives. In the website, it's very clear. And during notification, from the date of notification, the Fulbright Fellowship Organization, particularly in India, every country, of course, it is available in every country. In India, they are providing some guidelines or some tutorials how to make a successful application of Fulbright Fellowship. They are giving guidance. They are clarifying all the doubts in general through different lectures, online lectures. Once we requested them, and we can listen to all such awareness campaigning or doubt clarification campaigning or something. Then there is another different fellowship, Australia-India Council Fellowship. This is exclusively meant for only Indians. Whereas Fulbright Fellowship it covers the entire world. All the countries are eligible for this fellowship. But particularly this Australia-India Council Fellowship. Here, the objective is to exchange studies, scholars, teachers, students from one country to other country, and providing opportunities for Indian scholars to work in Australia, to know about Australia, to conduct research on Australia, ultimately, which may support to have better bilateral relations between two countries. Here, the criteria is a scholar should have good number of publications on India, Australia, or Australia alone. That is the criteria. If you are not doing research on Australia, if you don't have single paper on India, Australia, you are not supposed to apply for it. Those who are working on, and again it is competition. If you have two papers, if someone is having 10, 15 papers on India, Australia, again you will be the loser. Here, if you are interested to apply Australia-India Fellowship, you should consult the earlier winners of the fellowship who completed successfully, availed this fellowship. They can tell you the background, how he got he was successful getting AAC fellowship. Similarly, there is a government institution, ICCR, Indian Council of Cultural Relations. This ICCR having established, it is a fixed program. These are all just for sample thing. Again, it can be availed by anyone, not only social scientists, but more targeting on cultural issues. Different countries, India has established different chairs in different countries, selected countries, not all countries. If we can apply for it. Here, publications also much important. Overall performance is required. Here, the target is not about publishing something on specific country. Yes, what is your competition in understanding international affairs? What is your exposure at international level? How many countries did you visit? How many fellowships did you avail? How many institutions you visited? How many people you invited? How many conferences did you conducted? This general performance is much more important to be successful one to for this ICCR chairs in different countries. And of course, those who are not having PhDs, they can explore the possibilities of PhD scholarship. There are good number of, particularly for Indians. If we want to go for, don't search for a country which is a developing country. For Indians, there are more and more opportunities from the developed countries. Developed countries are providing much more opportunities. Why I'm telling, if you go to another developing country where the opportunities are almost similar, you cannot find something is better than India. The research practices in India and Bangladesh are same. But it is not the same. The research practices and infrastructure from developed countries, some of the European countries or America or Australia, Japan, so on. So therefore, let us target to go for some advanced countries than India. Similarly for PDF, postdoctoral fellow. So these are the some of the areas. Of course, under different categories, there are good number of opportunities, innumerable, I can say. But we should have patience in accessing different sources. Nobody is there to list out. For a geographer, this is the list of fellowships. For a mathematician, this is the list of fellowships. Nobody is readily providing you. No institution, no friend, no department. No one can do it. It can only be possible through your patience. Go on searching, 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 searching. If you are searching for something, suddenly, all of a sudden, you will be successful in tapping another one that may be better than what you were expecting. So that's why dedication, that's why in the initial stage, I told you, one should be a professional. Don't do research for the sake of obligation, whether it is institutional obligation or your personal obligation or your promotional obligation. If you start doing that, you forget about international opportunities. Unless otherwise, if you are a professional, 24/7, go on searching, searching, searching. Doing research is only less than 50%. Exploring the possibilities of how best we can do a better research or high quality of research. Going to different institutions where you can shine better. Your career will be changed. So these are the some tips. I can't say that I have provided a comprehensive gist of the entire thing. It is so is very difficult for anyone, not only for me. Moreover, it is not a structured lecture to provide. So I will be more happy to share to listen to you some of the questions, and I can provide suitable answers if I can. Please, now the floor is open for discussion.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
So-
very much. Now the participants are allowed to speak directly with the resource person.
Yeah, one
Those who are
after,
already
yeah.
filled the feedback form one by one. Now I am requesting to interact with Mamata Bhatnagar ji. Please you start by yourself first.
Yeah, let it be your
Co-host,
question is
Mamata
very clear
Bhatnagar.
and very short.
Mamata Bhatnagar, please. ममता जी
यस सर
आवाज आ रही ना?
यस सर आवाज आ रही
प्लीज प्लीज you can interact.
सर
Yes, please.
सर
Introduce yourself, your discipline, and ask.
Sir, myself, Mamta Bhatnagar from SS Kanna Girls Degree College, Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh. Sir, I just want to know, sir, if I have to apply for an international journal, then what should be the what should my focus? That
You
how
want
I
to
choose
publish
and
your
how
research work in international journal.
how I choose a journal who is a better option for me.
Right. So it's a reasonable good question. That's also very much important. First, as I said earlier, when you start working for your research paper, go on searching a suitable journal through consultations with your senior colleagues or your colleagues or some friends from other countries or who are working on similar. Of course, being faculty members, we will have the same association within the same discipline. Being a geographer, I cannot have academic association with a mathematician. Sorry. I always used to interact with the only geographers. So through discussions, personal information, and you can also search what are the journals which can publish this type of research work. So you can extract, and sometimes every journal is having a different style, starting from abstract research methodology. Some journals, they target more emphasized on methodology. Some journals, they think about more and more about descriptions, more and more data, primary data. So like this, every journal will have its own style of research. And we have to follow the guidelines. Identify whether your paper suits it to publish into that particular journal. First, identify a couple of journals. Don't depend on one journal. Identify a couple of journals which may be suitable to publish your research work. Then you visit journal's website and you can thoroughly read some of the archives, papers published already. You will come to a conclusion that what is the style of the journal.
Thank you so
have
much,
to
sir.
you have to prepare yourself as per the requirements of the publisher of your paper.
Yes,
Right?
yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Got the
Next.
point.
Next, please, without wasting time, you can, those who submitted already,
No problem.
70 participants, 76 participants submitted their feedback form, you can interact. Anyone? Professor Radhakrishnan sir from SV University, you can interact. Venkata Subramanian from Tamil Nadu, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Venkata Reddy, sir, from SVU.
How can we identify the duplicate publications?
Yeah, that is again, we cannot identify. There is no question of duplicate publication or original publication. The standard of publication. We cannot classify. We can classify based on the standard of publication. Of course, nowadays, I myself come across many duplications happening not in terms of publication. Now, impact factor has been manipulated. Around 15. I think the science journal is having around 13 impact factor. And some of the journals in social sciences, they have 16, 17 impact factor, which were launched a couple of years back. It is not possible to come to cross 10 impact factor. That journal should have at least some decades of life. Otherwise, it is not possible to achieve double-digit impact factor.
There is no standard are there.
Yes, and we can evaluate based on the work and based on the contributors. You may be knowing who are the best researchers in your own discipline. After going through the list of contents, the contents of the journal, once you start reading of one issue, you can assess yourself the standard of the journal. If you want to identify the standard of journal, my sincere advice is don't read the article, go to the end of the article, you thoroughly observe the reference style. The reference style itself gives you 50% of clue. If references are very systematically given, the content will also be in the similar fashion. If a scholar doesn't know how to give a reference or how to write a reference in a scientific manner, and we cannot expect a better content in the journal. That's why my sincere suggestion is abstract as well as references. If you start going through these two, you can come to a conclusion. And also, it is not a secret. You can discuss with your colleagues. Today, I have come across so-and-so journal. Yes, they will tell this is dubious journal. This is a perfect journal. This is international journal. And let me tell you, this is the opportunity for you. And many of the faculty members, even retired teachers from the universities, they don't know what is research international journal and what is national journal. If you write international journal of social sciences, no, it doesn't matter. It is an international journal. If you don't write the international journal of social sciences, don't think that it is not an international journal. If you want to consider it as international journal, there is separate criteria, the readability, the contributors, reviewers, editors, everything should be international, should have international representation. That can be considered as an international journal. If there is a wrong perception among many teachers and scholars, if any journal that is published within India, that cannot be considered as an international journal. If a journal is published in Bangladesh, we consider it as an international journal. That is wrong perception. If title is some international journal is included in the title, don't think that it is an international journal. International journal can be defined based on the content, the quality of work, the readability, the readers, contributors, reviewers, and nowadays indexing is also there. Impact factor is there. Indexing is there. And many of you may not be surprising what is index. This is not the time to discuss about what is the how can we gauge a best research journal. That means one should have the indexing. So nowadays, many institutions they are demanding we accept only Scopus journals, a journal that is indexed in the Scopus. And again, it is not the time to explain what is indexing.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. So like this, there is a separate criteria to weigh the weightage of the standards of the journal. Right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Yeah, please.
Good evening. Jaychandra Reddy Annagaru. Good evening, Annagaru.
Please, can I see your video?
Oh, exactly. Definitely.
You don't want to show me?
No. No. Annagaru.
Yes, please.
Jaychandra Reddy Annagaru.
Please.
Good evening.
Very good evening.
Difference between foreign and Indian research. I want to some clarification, Annagaru. Our Amar is doing good job. Our Amar is doing good job and excellent in this workshops, etc.
Yes.
PDF, etc. What about his health? I am suffering always. What energetic he is, and I'm very happy.
The secret behind the energy
Secret
of
behind Amar is
hardworking
what
people.
I don't know. I want to learn from him. I want to take all the tips from him. All participants also.
Sir, I got from the teachers of area study center, sir. I worked with them. I learned many things. They are very hardworking people. When compared with any other department in NEHU, sorry, in Sri Venkateswara University, Professor Lakshman Sethi, sir, I think. Sir, Lakshman Sethi, sir, na, sir?
Yeah.
Still, sir is energetic and 70 years young, I think.
80, nearly 80 years.
Nearly 80 years. And another thing here, this is the right time to share that information. In general, the department, they wait for the retirement of a teacher, plus the only department in Sri Venkateswara University. After retirement also, teachers, they can come, they can do their research, they can stay whatever time they want. This type of environment I have never seen in any institution. So this is the one of the good thing, and love, affection, care, concern. If you have happiness is the half of the strength. You know, we are from Telugu land. Santosam sagam balamum. So anandame mahabhagyamu. So these type of things only, sir, to do something. And for sir rightly pointed out, I am doing these things for myself and society, not for the sake of anything. Only happiness. While doing hard work, I am getting pleasure. That is the only secret. And another thing, greatest thing, when you share with others, that is the greatest pleasure what we can say if you share with us. So I learned many things from sir, nothing more than that. Thank you, sir.
Annagaru Jayachandra Reddy Annagaru, we will bless Amar.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Annagaru. Thank you, Amma.
Yes, any other question, please?
Any other teachers?
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon, sir.
Please show your video if possible. Please show your video also.
Is it Dr. Bhupesh?
Right now, I'm extremely sorry. Video right now, it's a little. I'm having a little problem with.
No problem, sir.
Okay, please continue, please.
Sir.
Dr.
There is
Bhupesh.
some problem with yes, sir. A very informative session. Indeed, I'm enjoying. Indeed, I enjoyed your session. But I wish if we can have a separate session on solely different fellowship, particularly for the university and college working teachers. I think that will be very helpful, sir.
Yeah, so we cannot list out. The problem is now the participants, they come from different disciplines.
Yes, sir.
And every discipline is having their own sources. Now, it is not possible to list out all the disciplines together and all the opportunities for each and every discipline.
Sir, if you can highlight briefly on, I'm from School of Humanities.
Yeah, School of Humanities, the plenty of opportunities are there. Those who are working in English department particularly, they have better opportunities than anyone, because the scholars who are working in humanities, they are dealing with more and more with the society, cultural aspects. So, as I said, ICCR, Indian Council of Cultural Relations, and India-Australia Council Fellowship, all these type of, for your surprise, in Himachal Pradesh, there is a center called Center for Australia New Zealand Studies that is established in the Department of English. And there is, it is called ASSI, Australia India, International Society for Australia India Studies. And this was established by Department of English and scholars of humanities. So like this, the scholars from particularly from English department, you have more and more opportunities than anyone in this world. You can go to any country. Any
Sir,
ministry.
any fellowship that you would like to suggest from your end?
Yeah, you can directly. The first thing is the highest topmost thing is you approach Fulbright Fellowship, Australia India Council Fellowship,
Yes, sir.
ICSSR. These three are the most important fellowships for you.
Especially, I'm from philosophy, sir.
Yeah, no problem. Philosophy is also important. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Any other, please? Any other? Otherwise, it is better to say vote of thanks, bye to sir. Sir is very busy.
No problem.
Last chance. Any other? Any other, please? Niranjan Paul from Assam. Niranjan Paul.
Sir, I would like to request to our coordinator, sir, Dr. Omar Sarji, can we have just one session just on fellowship, if possible?
Sir, I am going to organize one more FDP on research methodology and publication. During that time, I will invite again sir to give on this topic.
Okay, thank you very much.
Otherwise, I can organize one international workshop on this one.
Yes, that will be very fascinating session. Thank you, sir.
I think you are from Tripura, na sir? Bhupesh Debarma, Tripura?
Yes, sir, I am from Tripura.
Philosophy teacher.
Yes, sir.
Good.
And I'm frequently attending most of the sessions of NEHU being organized by even Human Resource Development Center, as well as now I'm acquainted with Education Department also.
Okay.
And indeed, I'm much benefited from all your this kind of sessions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Jainta Nunia from Punjab. Jainta Nunia, are you there? You can unmute, you can speak. Jainta Nunia. Okay, from Meghalaya, Lingdo madam, Dr. LM Lingdo madam. Lasara, I am not able to pronounce nicely. Are you there?
You can raise your hands.
I allowed, sir. I allowed to speak.
Yeah.
Lasara ji, please.
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
please. Synod College, sir. Their degree college in Shillong.
Yes,
Best
madam.
college.
Please proceed with your
madam.
question.
Ma'am, I am unmuted. You can speak, ma'am. You can speak. Lingdo madam, you can speak. I think they have some problems, sir. Okay, any other?
There's a problem with my network.
No. You are audible. Please speak up. You are audible.
No, those who are having some audio problem, you can also chat your question.
Yeah, you can chat. You can text.
You can text your question from the chat box.
Srinivasa Reddy from Telangana, please. Says. Srinivasa Reddy Mandala. Are you there?
Okay, no problem. If they don't have.
Okay, sir. Last question. Dr. Jagadishwari, madam. She is very active, sir. Women's Studies, our Sri Venkateswara University. You can speak, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir.
Namaste, ma'am. Chappan. Please.
Sir, one doubt, sir. When we are submitting about our publications in different journals, it will be given as the UGC notified journals. So,
yes.
As you told that the name is mentioned as international journal, it may not be an international journal. If international word is not there, It may be international journal, sir.
That's what I discussed. That is quite unfortunate. There is no clear-cut definition from the UGC itself. What is an international journal? What is national journal? What is regional journal? So it is quite unfortunate. And also they are suggesting and they're demanding and the publication, that particular journal should be indexed by the UGC. So if we are, this is a criteria for only CAS promotion. If we have more than requirement for our CAS promotion, we have freedom to publish anywhere. When we want to publish, the publication is supposed to be submitted for our CAS promotion. Now I am retired fellow. I can publish my paper in any journal. I don't care about UGC indexed journals. Whether it is international journal or national journal, I have my freedom. That's what I am suggesting. Let us be professional. If you are not meeting some obligation through your publications, then we have more and more freedom. Yes, within the system, we should also accept some guidelines framed by the institution. Asking a journal should be indexed in the UGC, and we should also identify what are the journals that are being indexed in the UGC by the UGC in specific domain or a discipline. We should be careful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Please.
Now they given under care list Savitribai Phule Pune University list of journals under scopus everything, sir. It is their duty to create an account under care they can access. And the Croning journal also they given list of Croning journals. So it is better to continue. Sir is telling that is rigorous every day. Is a part of higher education means teaching, learning, and research. So if not able to maybe reach out, it is we are the losers.
If you want to identify appropriate journal, you should spare equal time to identify a suitable journal. How much time that you are sparing to write a journal?
Based on their objectives, no, sir. Based on their objectives of the journal.
At the same time, you should also spend to identify a suitable journal for your publication.
Another thing along with the sir, it is always better to select the journals is published by the academic institutions and research institutions instead of the publications. Sage, Springer, Nature, Wolfram publishers okay. But if your publisher is not available for you or not famous, it is better to think twice.
Yeah, if what Dr. Jagdishwari was asking, that is the problem when the journal is not popular. If a journal is published by Sage Publications or some Routledge publishers or noted publishers are indexing with Scopus, and they cannot ask you. It is not, the UGC, they won't permit to index in the UGC. A journal which is not popular somewhere, at that time you will be asked to at least, that is not the only condition, at least your publication should be published, your paper should be published in the UGC indexed journal, at least. That is the last criteria. It is not the only criteria. There are highly reputed journals which is not in the list of UGC.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I
Thank
think
you very
it is
much,
never-ending.
Dr.
Research is a
Ramaneshwaran.
continuous process, and you made a session grand success, sir. Participants are very happy, and they are expecting your presence again. And please bless us and give an appointment to talk later. And
we can next time we will discuss about how to start a journal.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Sir.
Yes. Thank you very much. Bye. Take care.
Bye. Sir.
Thank you, each and everyone. Good night.